Hey, good Monday evening, everyone. It's weather for Weather Geeks time as we kick off a new work week. Things are looking good. Boy, it was a beautiful day today. We had sunshine all day. The infrared satellite picture this evening shows a band of clouds moving in, and this provided a beautiful, beautiful sunset. If you were able to take any pictures of the sunset, send them along either on my Facebook or Twitter feeds or weatherpics@wfmj.com. That's our weather picture email address. Otherwise, in the satellite picture this evening, of course, your eye is drawn out here to the Atlantic. That is Joaquin weakening as it heads into some cooler waters in the central Atlantic. Down in the southeast, the big rain event is in the process of winding down, thankfully. Boy, obviously you've seen this in the news. This is just amazing stuff. These are Doppler radar estimated rainfall totals going back to Friday, and it's off the edge of the scale here. I mean, 20 to 25 inches, pretty common from Columbia down towards the coast, towards Myrtle Beach, into far southeastern North Carolina as well. So just incredible stuff, and unfortunately there's been some fatalities with this, people's homes being washed away, and a very, very rare atmospheric setup is what led to this. If you want to read a really good article that dives into some of the meteorology behind the setup, recommend checking out the Capital Weather Gang. They're an outfit in Washington, D.C., but they focus on national weather coverage, and they put together a nice little kind of meteorological synopsis of the setup, why this happened. It was a very rare setup. Nothing to do with climate change, nothing to do with, well, I shouldn't say nothing, but not as much to do with the hurricane as you would think. Just a couple of other separate systems were mostly to blame for the tremendous, tremendous flooding down there. All right, so our weather over the next few days is going to be real quiet. This system out across the plain states is going to cruise overhead tomorrow, just bringing some clouds. I think it's a cloudier day tomorrow, but still a nice day. We'll get into the lower 70s tomorrow afternoon. What about the rest of the week? Well, I think Wednesday and Thursday are also pretty quiet days. I want to show you the end of the week then as we go into our Friday. Friday is, what, the 9th? Yeah. Here's the GFS model for Friday morning showing our next cold front pushing in. And notice there's actually snow up in Canada with this. No snow here, but rain's pretty likely, at least for a handful of hours on Friday. This is Friday morning on the GFS. By the afternoon, it suggests that a lot of this is trying to push away. There are, I should say, some timing differences in some of the modeling. Everyone shows rain Friday. It's just a matter of, does this get out of here in time for high school football Friday evening? That's a tough call this early in the game, but I suspect that most of this rain is weighted towards the first half of the day. And then behind the front, a breezy night Friday night, a chillier night, and a cool start to the weekend. Here's a look at Saturday. A lot of weddings at this time of the year on Saturdays, and I think Saturday is going to be a nice-looking day as high pressure builds across the Ohio Valley. It is going to be cool, though, probably no higher than about 60 for Saturday afternoon. The entire weekend should be good if you're checking out some leaves. Definitely recommend going east into Pennsylvania. I-80, the PA Turnpike, once you get into the mountainous terrain, out towards Johnstown, Altoona, Williamsport, places like that, the color is quite a bit more vibrant than it is here in the lower elevations. We'll get our peak probably in about 2.5 weeks, probably between the 20th and 25th. So 2.5, 3 weeks is when we should see our peak fall colors in most of the Mahoning and Shenango valleys. All right, so that's a look at the weather through the weekend. Smooth sailing next few days, some rain on Friday. What about the longer range? Here are the temperature trends in the 8 to 16 day period based on the latest GFS ensemble model. So this would take us from the 13th through the 21st, an 8-day period in which the west should be pretty warm. The northeast should be pretty cool. And we're kind of maybe somewhere in between. This could shake out to be a week period where, a week-long period, I should say, where we have some cool days, a couple days where we sneak above average, and it all kind of is almost a wash. Maybe a slightly cooler than average pattern. So that'll be pretty much the middle of October, temperature-wise. As you get beyond that, and we take a sneak peek at the end of October, so here's the last 10 days of October, you notice the pattern has changed somewhat based on the climate model here. The west, which looks real warm in the 8 to 16 day period, is not quite as warm in quite as many places at the end of the month. And there's a cool pocket shown in the east. So, I think the last 2/3 of October are going to end up being fairly typical. There's going to be some chilly days. There's going to be a few mild days as well, but we're not looking at the temperature anomalies that we had in September, certainly. It was a very warm September, of course, compared to the averages. Doesn't look like a repeat for October. Rain-wise, still a pretty dry pattern. We get our rain Friday, but that's really the only chance for rain over the next 7 or 8 days. Here's the 10 to 20 day rain anomalies on the climate model, showing a lot of below average rainfall amounts from Ohio, south, and east. Then you look beyond that and heading into the last part of October into the first few days of November, and still not exactly a real wet pattern for Ohio and Pennsylvania. So that's the way things are looking right now in the longer range. With any long range forecast, check back often. Take these things with a grain of salt. Any computer model, any climate model is going to become less and less accurate the farther out in time you do go. Great space station pass this evening. Already posted about it on social media. I'll shoot out a reminder at 8 o'clock. This starts at 8:06, going 90 degrees overhead, almost directly overhead. Great pass this evening. Really very, very bright. Another nice pass coming up. Tomorrow evening could be a little bit cloudier for that, though. Thanks for watching Weather for Weather Geeks. You can catch my 7-day forecast tonight on 21 News at 11.